Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Kenneth Brown Fishing. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to check me out. And so I got another, interesting episode. I've been fishing, trying some baits out to make sure that these baits work, and that I halfway know what I'm talking about when it comes to these baits. And so I've tried these baits out, all with the exception of one because it's a new bait, relatively new, but I wasn't impressed with it. I don't know. Maybe you guys will, but I'm going to let you know about it before you get any so you'll know what you're getting when you get ready to get some. So, without that being said, we're going to get right into it. This is an episode on the heavyweights, poop baits, whatever you want to call them. And, everybody now looks like they're going to try to copy and bite off of everybody and make their own bait, which, originated in Japan. And so Spro / Missile Bait has one coming out. Some of you maybe done seen it or what have you. It's off of Cover Scat. Is what it's made off of. I think it's called a crawfish nugget. I think they're gonna do it at ICAST. That's coming up, and but they don't release some photos of it, and so it looks really similar to a Cover Scat. I'm gonna show you what a Cover Scat is for the ones that may not have seen a Cover Scat or don't really know what a Cover Scat is. So, but I'm gonna show you. All these are in the realm of heavyweight baits. These baits here do work here in Mississippi. Man, these bass, they act like they never seen it. They would bite them. So let's get right into it. Of course, this is the one that a lot of people has been using and buying, which is just your Yamatanuki. That's the one that, everybody knows. Now they do have a new one that's out. And the new one is a 2.5. I have some of the 2.5s. They sent me some 2.5s. I wasn't really impressed with the 2.5. Now, the 2.5, here's a 2.5. It's really, really small. This is the original. This is what they have now. It is so small, it is like a Ned rig. It is tiny. It's small, and I'm gonna show you. This is just a Ocho, Ned rig Ocho. That's all it is, just a little Ned rig. This is the 2.5 Tanuki. They're just about the same size. I just wasn't really impressed with it because to me, this bait, you throw this bait without a weight. You throw this bait weightless, and you got to use such a small hook to throw it. You could on BFS or something like that if you just want to get into that. I don't know how it really would perform on a Ned rig. I don't know if this little tail will really get to kicking and working on a Ned rig, maybe shaking it on a Ned rig. It's not designed to float up or nothing like that. So it's going to lay on the bottom. So I imagine you really have to give it some action to get the tail working, but I actually thought it was going to be fatter than what it was. Not this skinny. I mean, it's really, really small. So I hadn't fished this one yet. I just got them. I just hadn't fished them yet. And I'm going to fish them tomorrow and see how they do. I'm going to try them on a Ned rig, and I'm going to try them with a number 1 wide gap and see. And not even a 1/0. 1/0 seemed to be a little bit too big for it. And so I'm gonna try number 1 and see if that's the right, hook for it. So, but that is your new 2.5 Yamatanuki, and it's really, really small. And if you're thinking about buying something, just know what you're getting. You're getting a Ned bait because it's really, really small. You see? This is just your Ned bait. This is your 2.5 Yamatanuki. Now I'm gonna show you some more baits that I've used that they should have copied if they was gonna do it. So that is your a Yamatanuki, which everybody fish, everybody knows it now. You know, it's a 3.5-inch Yamatanuki. Now, this is your cover scat, what it is. You throw it without a weight. It actually has a little barb on the top, a little deal on the top where your hook point goes in right here. You can do it that way and fish it. It shakes going down. I've caught fish on them. I mean, it's a really good bait. You know, they call it a cover scat because it looks kind of like bear scat. But, you know, some people could just call them heavyweights or whatever you want to call them. And but they do catch fish, especially like at Okissa flipping this bait. It's really, really good. Along with that Yamatanuki. You know, this is something that's in my arsenal now all the time, regardless. It is in my arsenal. And so I got a dedicated rod to it now, dedicated setup, and I fish it. So, and the first ones that I know that actually done copied this bait in the U.S. is Missile / Spro. And so I hadn't put none in my hand, but just looking at it, it looks almost identical to it. So just like when the Senko came out, people copied it and made Senkos. And so I imagine more people gonna do it because it catch fish. That's the number one thing, catching fish. So I ain't upset. A lot of people upset because they, made a copy of it. I'm not. In fact, I'm actually waiting on Berkley to make one because I feel like Berkley's would be really good. It'll be scented. It's definitely gonna be heavy. That's for one thing. So I'm waiting on them to make one of these. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that is the Depths cover scat, and it does catch fish too. It's really, really good. Now they got another one called by Fish Arrow. It's called a heavy poop, is what it's called. It's another Japanese company. It's not a U.S. company. This is a Japanese company, and they make the bait also. Now, this bait here is unique also, and the reason it's unique is because the back actually is made like crawfish pinchers. The back is. Now, this is the 3-inch. This is what I was hoping that Yamoto done, is make this bait, the 2.5, in the same diameter as this 3-inch. Then you could throw it without a weight. Because this one you can throw it without it's perfect. You can throw it without a weight. I mean, it's perfect. And like I said, I've caught fish on all these. All three of these I've caught fish on. All three of them have their own unique action. And but that's what I was hoping they'd have done to the 2.5. They just made it tiny. It's really, really tiny. So, but that is the 3-inch Fish Arrow poop stick. They also make a 3.5, the 3.5-inch, which is the same thing. It's just bigger compared to a Yamatanuki. That's compared to a Yamatanuki. You fish it without a weight. It has its own action, its own fall action. These all catch fish. I'm telling you, they catch fish. You fishing Okissa or something like that, anywhere that you got cover, limbs, logs, stuff like that, man, it's dynamite. I'm telling you, they will catch some fish. Now, also G-Crack. G-Crack also makes one. The Ripper. This one here is by G-Crack. This one right here is a 3.5-inch. And it's really stinky too. It's got some stuff in it. I mean, it's got some stuff in it. It'll light your hair on fire now. It's got some stuff cooked in it. It's heavy. You can throw it without a weight, and it's really, really good. It's really good. You look at it compared to a cover scat. it has a little tail on the back. You know, and you look at it compared to Yamatanuki. Yamatanuki has a big tail. It has a pintail on the back. So, you know, all of these are in the heavyweight / poop bait family of baits. And you might as well get ready because the train is coming. This is one of the baits that people are going to come out with now, or make their own, you know, version in the U.S. because people are catching fish on it and people really do like it. Now you got another one also made by Duralis. Duralis makes a bait, and it's called a wiggle stick. And it's a little bit different from all of them, but man, if you ever see it in the water, this is what it is. It almost just looks kind of like a small Senko, but it's not. And boy, does it just what it says, the wiggle stick. It has a lot of action. It's heavily salted too. No weight, just a hook. No weight. You going around flipping. A lot of people using a weight, going down there. You can go right behind people, flip these baits right behind them and catch fish that they can't. They make a lot of colors. It's got a lot of, it's got some stuff cooked in it too. So, but I've thrown all these baits. I've fished all these baits. I've caught fish on these baits. And these baits right here really catch fish. They would catch them. Man, they'll catch them. And, but that right there is the wiggle stick, the 4-inch wiggle stick. Now they make a wiggle slim. Which is more like a Ned rig bait. If you wanted a Ned rig style bait, they make the wiggle slim for the Ned rig bait. They also have another bait in the heavyweight school. It is the Ama Kamushi, or whatever you want to call it, which is basically this bait right here. Is basically this bait with all the skirting in it. This is something to see in the water right here. It is something to see in the water. But this bait right here, it does. They will bite this bait right here. They would eat it. I have caught them on it. It looks crazy. You bring this out, it looks crazy, but they bite it. Maybe because they had never seen it, but they absolutely do bite it. And I like it, and I fish with it. And you might be wondering, well, where am I gonna get some baits like this at? If you're talking about them, where can you get them at? Well, I get mine from Tackle Warehouse. You can get them from Tackle Warehouse, or you can get them from the Hookup Tackle. Colin Feed and Seed don't really have these in there. And I imagine they'll probably maybe get some of them in. And but they don't have these in. So they don't have those. I get them from, like I say, from Tackle Warehouse, from Omni Tackle, and from the Hookup Tackle. That's where I get a lot of these baits from. From there, you can get a lot of your Japanese baits and stuff like that from those websites. And fish just hadn't seen them type baits. And those baits produce fish. They produce bites when other stuff won't. Got another one. This one right here is by Nishini. And this is called an Namazu. Now this one is a catfish imitating type bait. It's heavily salted. It imitates a catfish. It has a little tail on it, but it's like a heavyweight. You don't use it with a weight. You just throw it out and let that sun go and do its thing. And you can fish it on the bottom, crawl it on the bottom. It's a really good bait. I've caught some. I think this is my 3rd or 4th bag that I've gotten. So it's really good, and you can really catch some fish on it. And I really do like it. So I would just tell you, You know, try your bag, get your bag. I know nobody else around here is throwing them, you know. And if it is, very few people. And if they are, they ain't saying nothing about it. And but it really does work to mimic a catfish. That's the purpose. They got black and blue, and they got green pumpkin, and I think they got one or two more other colors. I really wasn't feeling those other colors, but those are the two colors, the main colors that I use is green pumpkin and the black and blue. And I've got, you know, bites on both colors. And but that is the heavyweights. They do have another heavyweight. I think it's called a ding dong. I hadn't got any of those yet. And but I'll try to get some of those and bring those to you where you can where you get a chance to see those. And now I'm gonna let you in on another bait that's pretty good. I've caught a few fish on. And some of you may have seen it, some of you may know about it. It's made by G-Crack. It's called a gill swimmer. They make this in a bluegill color also. This is a brim style swim bait. And let me tell you something, Jack. She will get down. They will bite this bait right here. This is a getter. You throw this bait in those lily pads where those brim at, where those brim you hear them sucking, popping in those lily pads. Everybody else throwing a frog, sweating, wiping sweat, not getting a bite. Come through there with that. It's not a real big bait either. You don't need a swim bait rod or nothing like that. I mean, this is relatively small bait, you know. It's got a little weight to it, but it's relatively a small bait. And you throw you a 6-aught hook on it and let that sugar work. And they come and get it because of the profile. You know, those bass in there, those bass in those lily pads, they feeding on two types of fish. They feeding on brim and they feeding on shad. That's in there. It's a lot of brim being there. A lot of them. A lot of y'all that fish knows. You hear them sucking and popping and all that. And then you'll hear fish just boom, blow up on something. You throw your frog over there 15 times with nothing. And so I always just try to think out the box a little bit, try something a little different. And sometimes a frog do get bit. They get bit sometimes, but I like to be a little different, try stuff a little different. And that's one bait right there that has done it for me. And that's made by G-Crack. G-Crack, the Bellows Gill Swimmer is what it is. They can't keep them in stock. So you try to order some, if you see them, you better get them because they don't keep them in stock. It's hard to keep them in stock because that sugar right there will get down. You just throw it in them lily pads, throw it in around some cover, it'll get down. So I really do like it. I've caught fish on it. And so that's what I do. I try a lot of baits. I try a lot of different baits, just trying baits and seeing if they'll actually work. You know, some baits, you can fish them and fish them if they just don't do really good, you know, around here. And some baits really excel around here. And a lot of times fish get conditioned. Fish get conditioned to sound. Fish get conditioned to certain actions and stuff like that. So you have to change stuff up, just like a rattle trap. You go to catching fish on a rattle trap, they'll get conditioned to it and they'll just fall off of it and won't bite it. Because, you know, that sound it makes, you go through there with a silent trap or you go through there with something a little different, you know, you can get some bites until they catch on to you and then, you know, they'll fall off of it. And but that's what it's all about, is getting a bite. That's all a fisherman want, is a bite. It don't matter. They would fish with a sneaker bar if it'll get them a bite. That's all a fisherman is looking for, is a bite. And these baits here, I have fished these baits and tried these baits. That's why I hadn't really put out a video, because I've been fishing and trying some of these baits. And because I didn't want to get up here saying this bait will do this and this bait will do that and never fish it, don't know nothing about it. Just up here, you know, yahooing, saying a lot of stuff that don't make sense. But these baits will will produce bites. The only bait that I hadn't fished yet is that 2.5. It's really small, and I'm gonna try it a couple of different ways just to see. Now, I'm gonna say it again. If you get some of those 2.5s, if you order some of those 2.5, do not expect a full-size bait like the regular Yamatanuki. It's gonna be tiny. And when I say tiny, again, tiny. It is little bitty. So just a heads up on it. You know, like I say, I don't know. They may, tear it up. But I can guarantee you this one thing. If you fish around a lot of brim, getting a lot of brim bites, that look like something they would have shown up here. It's one of them. Because it's just so small, it's just so tiny compared to the regular size. The regular size is a killer. Now, I imagine they're going to come out with a 4-inch. Is what I'm thinking they're going to come out with. And a 3-inch. That's what I'm thinking. And so I don't know if they're going to do it at ICAST. I don't know if they got something that they're going to show at ICAST, like a 3-inch and a 4-inch. If you look at it, that's what they're missing. They got a 3.5. Now they got a 2.5. It only makes sense to make a 4-inch and a 3-inch because they went so small on the 2.5. So that's almost like it leaves room to be able to bring a 3-inch. So, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. And trying to get some of these baits put back. But that is the heavyweight series. That is the heavyweight. And those baits there will work here. It'll work in any of this water around here. Oak Kissel, Persequin, Lake Lincoln. Old Lake Lincoln, boy, they act like they ain't never seen these. And but they'll get you some bites. Just try them out, get you a bag, and just try it. You don't need any weights. Put you a wide gap hook on, 4-aught, 5-aught hook, and throw you some. Now in the cover scat, they do make a 2.5, and they do make a 4-inch. They 2.5 is not a 2.5, a 3-inch. They do make a 3-inch in the scat. I think they make a 2.5 too. I think they make a 2.5. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure because I don't have any 2.5. I got a 3.5s and I got the 4-inch. And I didn't ever get any of the other ones because when I originally got it, I didn't know what I was getting. I just, stayed in the middle of the pack, got a 3.5s and just say, okay, we'll see what it's like, and got some 4-inch. And that's where I stayed in that realm. So, but Cover Scat has a lot of colors. Cover Scat is the original over here far as releasing a poop bait. It was the originator. Fish Arrow had some. They wasn't far behind the Cover Scat if they wasn't right there right along with it. And but they out of Japan also. Japan has a lot of baits, the US don't have, and they catch fish. And but get you some, try you some, hey, and catch fish, because that's what it's all about. But appreciate you guys. If you stayed to the end of the video, oh yeah, if you stayed to the end of the video, then you will know I'm going to do a giveaway at 150 subscribers. We're at 130 right now. We get to 150, I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't know if I'm going to do a gift card or I'm going to do a reel, a casting reel, spinning reel. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. If you have any ideas or you suggest something, just leave it down in the comments. Now, it's not going to be no shabby reel. Now, it's not going to be something you go to Walmart and pick up. This going to be something you can use, something you can fish with. It's not going to be nothing like that. So, and, but just put down in the comments, because I know it's some ladies on here also. You might just want a gift card to give to your significant other or your husband or, what have you. And, but if it's something you would prefer, then just put it down there. When we get to 150, hey, I'm going to do, or a bait giveaway. I can do a bait bundle. And a lot of these baits like I got, I can do a bundle, I can do a box, and send out a box. And you can try some of these baits that I fish with. So just whatever you want to do, and just let me know. And and we'll get that together. So appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. And hopefully I'll see you on the water. Appreciate it.